4-point Puerto Rico lead. Almeida, one of the veterans in this team, drives all the way. He may have had a shot. Here comes Fi, and he makes the three-pointer.
Wow.
Beautiful. Nice penetration and dish out.
One thing you can say about Senegal, yesterday they looked a little tentative, a little nervous. Today, yeah, they're in the flow.
Oh, steps, no. Vasallo, inside to Santiago. He misses, but the ball goes out of bounds. Baji, the last one to touch it. Santiago's now beginning to realize, okay, this is what I'm up against.
But the great thing about him winning that, he's been around the houses, isn't he? He was very, very deep. He was always, but he got it up there. And he actually, him taking shots in that environment, going to keep the defense honest.
Inside, Santiago with a dunk. I've seen it all. 38 years old, with so many kilometers on his knees. Trying to show Senegal, you know, there's a little bit left.
Crowd loved it. I think every Puerto Rican every fan was dunking it with him.
Inside to Dieng. It's off the hands of Santiago.
I might be reading too much into the presence of Daniel Santiago here. There's a slightly different feel about the lineup on the floor at the moment.
Can you say it's more of a FIBA game?
With him in the game, and it's more of a... Five guys are moving on defense. They might not be playing great defense at this level, but there's 5 guys who are engaged with what they're trying to do defensively.
Over Santiago goes Dieng, and with every shot last night, he seemed to gain confidence.
Yeah. Well, we said he got better in the game, and I think if he gets better over these 5 games, wow, he could show what a prospect. Great pass.
Beautiful backdoor, but Santiago couldn't get the additional pass from Arroyo. And here comes Senegal. Almeida penetrating. Nice deflection by Bachman, and a foul by Santiago. Baji will go to the line.
Well, we watched the whole of the first quarter, as back almost the expression tells you everything you need to know. And all we saw Senegal do was passive pass, 3-point shot. We saw one little play going to the hoop. Now, half the shots have been inside the keyway. Much more aggressive, much more hopeful for Senegalese fans.
Baji plays for Neuchâtel in the LNA in Switzerland. He averages 60% from the line. He joined the Lions in 2010, played in Africa Basket 2011, in Madagascar as well as last year in Abidjan. Can you imagine beating the local team to make this tournament?
That shows a lot of courage by that team.
They were down by more than a dozen in that game. Arroyo, yes.
It's amazing what an early score does for you. A little penetration. He looked in rhythm and smooth as he came off that little down screen. It's his 5th point.
Veteran Ndoye, the ball off Galindo. Not necessarily known as a great defender, but he's got the big wingspan and the height to keep up with Ndoye. As we see Arroyo score. Looking at the clock, 6 seconds to shoot. Ndoye. Mali Ndoye misses, and here's Santiago with the outlet pass.
Oh, this is where Arroyo can really create. Settles for the 3, knocks it down.
It's the second game in which Puerto Rico's opted to have Correa come off the bench. And I think this is what Puerto Rico expected from Arroyo yesterday.
Well, that was good again. He had numbers down the floor. He had people on the break. He had rebound coverage.
Almeida misses. Another rebound by Santiago, cleaning up the glass. Meanwhile, Bachman is going in transition pretty earlier than usual. Santiago's all alone. Galindo reverses. Down to Danny. Is that ball moving or what?
Every Puerto Rican player has touched the ball in transition on that offense.
And a foul.
I don't think every Puerto Rican player touched the ball in an offense for a whole game yesterday.
It's remarkable. It's by Baji.
Now, either that's them looking at the film, them discussing how difficult the game was yesterday, coupled with the presence of Daniel Santiago on the floor. And maybe we're over-egging the presence of Santiago on the floor. If I was almost now, I'd get him out quickly, give him a blow. Never get him really too tired here today. Try and get as many minutes out of him as you can.
I've actually been present when Danny showed up first time to one of these tournaments, literally the first day of training. And he literally had just met the coach. And he tells Flor Melendez, "Coach, whatever you want me to do." First things out of his mouth. Whatever you want me to do, Whatever it is, let me know. I'll deliver.
Every single coach loves to hear that from someone with his stature and his talent.
For Bachmann, he always sees these tournaments as an opportunity to get a job. He's been now, rebound by Santiago, and he's slapped out by Jang. Up front, in a beautiful, amazing dunk by Endur.
Every time they get a defensive stop, they should look to run it and just get it to the ring. Tremendous speed down the floor. I still think Santiago was fouled, but
splits the defense. Missed a rebound. Bachmann can't corral it. It belongs to Senegal.
Again, 4 people were involved in that Puerto Rican offense, though. The screen from Santiago, the kick from Arroyo, and an offensive rebound. We never had that yesterday. The signs are good for Puerto Rico at the start of this game.
Doy inside to Faye. Turnaround jump shot. Another offensive rebound. Ding against Santiago. And the foul by Faye on Vasallo on the rebound. Senegal is being extremely physical, much more so than yesterday.
Well, it looks like yesterday they came into their first World Cup of this generation of players, and it was wow. It was like a little bit rabbit in the headlights. They just were passive, and unfortunately they ran against a Greek team who was just going to make every advantage pay.
Halfway through the first, Puerto Rico up by 6. Mark Clark, Alvaro Martin joining you in Group B as Galindo from Miami West Puerto Rico makes the 3.
They might be close to having as many assists in the first quarter as they had in the whole game if it carries on like this way.
Intercepted by Arroyo, but he recognized his numbers and height. No! In and out. Look at Danny Santiago fighting for that ball.
And he's won the possession because the Senegalese are out of bounds.
And he's a little hurt. A little slow in getting up. Maybe that's just Danny. It's 38 years. That was not a good shot by Arroyo.
No, because if he was going to do it, he should have just gone and done it. He hesitated a bit, but hey, he did it. What it's shown is Danny Santiago wants this. He was on the floor.
Puerto Rico up 17-8. There's a timeout on the floor. Saw some images of Africa basket, and we saw images of a team that's missing here in this World Cup because of this team, Nigeria.
Well, that was possibly the biggest shock of that tournament, because Nigeria not only had come off the Olympic Games, but they'd had to beat teams like Greece in Venezuela to qualify for that Olympic Games. And then this Senegalese team went out and beat them 1 point, but beat them and put themselves in a position to then beat the hosts to qualify.
And we have a little surprise brewing today. A mild surprise as Finland was beating the Ukraine by 13 with 5 minutes to go.
Well, if people look at yesterday's result in just cold, they might think it's a surprise. But the people who've been watching Finland over the last 3 Eurobasket have seen progress in every single tournament. Coach Detman does a marvelous, marvelous job. And it just shows you with organization and a good coach and a good system, teams like Finland can be on the world stage and winning games at the World Cup.
Great shots of Maurice Endur dunking. He's a youngster that played for Ohio University. There's Dang, Ronaldo Bachmann. As Puerto Rico inbounds with a 24-second clock. Oh, lazy pass.
It's the only one he had, though.
Vasallo floater, short. Rebounded by Jang, and Jang is also collecting rebounds. Up ahead. A nice play by Mohamed Jump.
Again, they ran. They got the ball down the floor. They made a pass. They had a mid-range jump shot with rebound coverage. No one in his face. Let's not play half-court basketball, Senegal. Let's see if we can push.
Bachmann attacks with his left hand, loses the ball on the way, and he's fouled, I believe, by Jang. Let's see if it's number 14. Nope, it is number 12, Maurice Endur.
Well, we get a replay of this. Bachmann, the way he caught it, had a great angle, protected it with his body, and then just went. Great first step, gets fouled, and again showing what he brings to this team. Arroyo still doesn't seem as comfortable and as pumped as sometimes you see him on the world stage. but he's orchestrating at the moment.
He is 35 years old, and he has said that he doesn't want to talk about the future, but he senses that this may be his last Worlds. Puerto Rico has some outstanding players coming up in the pipeline. And of course, it's a rich point guard country, one of the 5 that has basketball as the #1 sport, undisputed, top, most popular sport in their country. Danny Santiago playing 6 minutes already. Bachman with a steal. Backed in the hands of Job, and a foul. No, a travel.
Travel.
A travel. It looked like Galindo got in the way, but Job turns the ball over.
No, he just picked it up and then took his steps to try and get something to happen, as opposed to I brought it back, he should have maybe just held on and then got rid of the ball.
Well, one of the questions to be answered, Barea against the Senegalese. He is on the court with Arroyo. He came in for Galindo. 24 points, the majority of them, when the game had been decided. Way, way off his pass to Santiago. 5 intercepts inside to Jeng against Barea.
Oh,
misses. 2 points, says Carlos. 2 points. Apparently there was some sort of basket interference by Puerto Rico.
I'd like to see it again. I'd like to see the basket.
I think the backboard may have moved.
Yeah. But again, they pushed it. They're looking to shoot early. They're looking to be aggressive, Senegal. It's a really good sign.
Look how far Puerto Rico has to start its offense from the basket. It's being extended by Senegal. 3-pointer by Carlos. It's good.
Wow, he's in as poorly as he shot yesterday. He's already in the zone offensively at the moment, knocking down shots, dishing the ball out.
3 of 4 from behind the arc. 3 minutes to go. Puerto Rico up by 10.
It's a completely different challenge for Puerto Rico as the offensive foul's called.
Yes, this may be on Jeng. Yes, it is. Let's see. You see Santiago hitting the backboard?
Yeah.
Shifted the basket.
Yeah, and Coach Omos wasn't really sure why. None of the players seemed to have an issue with it, so. But going back to the point, yesterday they played against a Greek team that were going to pass the ball, screen, they were going to try and run things to create advantage. This time whoever's got the ball, someone on the Senegalese team's got to get down and play some defense. And again, some of the players that they're playing, Abrera and Aurora, have scored on the best players in the world. So this is a completely different challenge. I don't think one-on-one they're going to be able to deal with it. They're going to have to come up with some way as a team of actually making it hard for those guys.
Hamadine Dye with his bad back. He's not only in the court, for a moment he was guarding Barea.
Well, it was, they switched, then they trapped again. What Daniel Santiago gives them when they trap is he gives them a pass option. He's like the lighthouse out there. And they find him out of the trap, and now he's with Senegal in the penalty. He's shooting free throws.
He is born in Lubbock, Texas. His father is of Puerto Rican descent. He was born in Puerto Rico. If your father or grandfather was born in Puerto Rico, you can play for the national team. It's one of those territorial possessions exceptions that FIBA makes in its rules, which is how Puerto Rico typically gets half of its roster. This time, it's about a third of the roster. Bachman, for example, is another one. Alexander Franklin's another one. Here's Bachman. He misses the shot. Cross-court pass. Galindo lines it up. Just.
And we're going to ask this question a lot. And I know the opposition is different, but there's a completely different feel about this Puerto Rican team. Portman shares it. Yesterday, I think he'd have gone to the basket.
Oh, what a play. Oh, violent play. 3 Senegalese and Santiago on the ground. Cross court, Bachman dunks it.
Well, they weren't shy about going for the offensive ball there, all 3 of them, and just left them so exposed going the other way.
Yang now being guarded by Barea. Fay by Galindo. 5 seconds to shoot. Turnaround jump shot. It's good.
Very balanced. He wasn't really. By the time he turned around to shoot the ball, Bolton gave him so much space. It was a wide open look. But a fadeaway jump shot deep on a shot clock. Defensively, you would take that.
That's his second shot, fadeaway. He's got 5 points. Foul by Niang, holding onto Barea.
Barrera has got to remember and recognize how this Puerto Rican team has built this 13-point lead. You know, that's the first time in a long time where someone came down the floor and just dribbled and didn't go anywhere.
And he actually had time to look at the clock.
Oh, yeah. He had plenty of time to make a pass and get it back. That's always a sign. Sometimes that maybe they don't think they're going to get it back because they're not passing the ball well enough. But today, they're sharing the ball. They're getting high percentage shots. He'll get it back.
It reminds me of Barouzi's doing that to the Senegalese yesterday. Exact same place, same spot.
Yep.
He had all the time in the world to wait and make the right pass. A 15-point advantage with 1:20 to go. Puerto Rico in the bonus now. Arroyo a little greedy, and he fouls Joe. That is his first. Paco Olmos is 43 years old, from Valencia, Spain. Took on this job after spending about a year coaching in the Puerto Rican League. And he's the first non-U.S., non-Puerto Rican, obviously, head coach in that country's history. 5. Tough shot.
Oh, that was quick.
Tough shot.
That was quick. Daniel Santiago couldn't do any more. He just couldn't get there quick enough.
Santiago looks to be playing the entire quarter. As we have a stoppage of play by the referee. Niang really hounding Barea. Arroyo trying to get through screens. Couldn't do it against Dewar. College player. Inside pass. Santiago misses. Tries the up and under. Didn't work. Bachman running out of room. Over to the hands of Fai. And there's a foul to avoid a worse outcome by Galindo. And Ricky Sanchez will make his debut this afternoon.
I think Galindo's going to come out. He's not going to want to come out. No, he's going to take Santiago out. The whole of the crowd, the older Puerto Rican fans should stand for the way that Danny Santiago has helped change like the complexion of this Puerto Rican team just by being on the floor.
He's got 2 points. He's got 4 rebounds. He has 1 block shot. Niang attacks. Left-handed shot. No good. Under the rebound. Whoa! Watch out. Amadi Ndiaye, back pain and all. Feels a lot better right now. Pressure off the inbound.
Yeah, that was Puerto Rico of yesterday. No one adjusted. No one actually reacted to the missed shot. And to be fair, Baldwin put his hand up and acknowledged the fact. He didn't think he was going to be needed on the glass.
So guilty bystanders. Here comes the high screen by Sanchez. 6 seconds to shoot. He's going to shoot it. There he goes. Offline. 7 seconds to go. No, that's a mistake. That's a mistake.
They should give them
the horn is for the possession, which never reset. Yeah, they should give the ball back to Senegal with a few seconds to go.
Yeah, about 4 seconds or so on the clock. They should give them the ball back.
That was a desk official mistake.
In fact, if they're really going to retract
they should go back to the end.
They should go back to 6 seconds and give them the ball on the sideline.
Exactly.
They're going to go 4.5 though, so they've split the difference. More than enough time for this team to get a shot though.
Dewar will inbound. Niang all the way against Barea, blow by him. Ndiaye in time. That's gotta hurt if you're Puerto Rico. They're up at the end of the first quarter, but they gave up a cheap one. No one rotated as Ricky did. No one went to help the helper.
This is Puerto Rico of yesterday, isn't it? Look, there's people walking the other way. There's people walking the other way. It's like they try and play too much defense.
29-20. Puerto Rico leads Senegal at the end of 1.
Well, great start by Puerto Rico, and it was sparked by Carlos Arroyo. You've got to accept and acknowledge the fact he shared the ball. He got his own, but he used Danny Santiago. There's the screen. Great work. That's what he does to people. He can slide through those screens on a hard show. Santiago set such a good screen. They were challenged by Senegal because they got their feet in the keyway with the basketball. Even if it ended up in penetration, the Bulls saw the keyway before they took a perimeter shot. But Danny Santiago, for me, is the story of that first quarter because it's not so much his points, He dunks it. His knees will have to check those out, but he dunks that. He was just instrumental in a change of attitude and approach. And we talked about it in commentary. There's an Arroyo 3, but they came down in transition and every Puerto Rican player touched the ball. But they've always got to be wary of Senegal in the break. An assist, they only had 5 yesterday.
With a nice screen by Santiago.
Yeah, 5 yesterday, they've got 4 already.
They have 7.
7 already, sorry. 7 already, more in a quarter than in a whole game. All right, the opposition is different, but the intent is completely different from Puerto Rico.
Now, as Puerto Rico's defense, as you pointed out, becomes a little soft in plays like these, with Ndai dunking at the buzzer, and the fans, of course, love every second of it.
Well, are Puerto Rico going to shoot as well as they did in that first period? Arroyo was just on fire for 29 points, because if they can't, they've got to maintain their defense. Otherwise, Senegal will go for 20 every quarter.
Endure all the way to the basket, it's in. I'm telling you right now, there's no rim protection from Puerto Rico right now.
Well, and Sanchez played no defense. He didn't even like say, shoot the ball over me. Just let him spin, get to the ring.
He's had a very tough start to the tournament. Bachmann almost has to break. No, he stepped on the line. I sense in looking at Ronaldo that his mobility is somewhat limited.
Yeah.
Oh, they're trying to beat Puerto Rico to the ball. Ndai again. Timeout. Paco almost.
Well, Carlos Arroyo looked straight at Paco almost when that play happened. And so what are you going to, and he called the timeout straight away. He had to call the timeout straight away. But the 2 possessions before, poor execution. Barrera turns it over again. Borgman fumbled it, but Barrera's on the sideline.
He's basically asking them to rotate defensively, help the helper.
Well, he's got to do that, but they've got to get back first to do that.
That was a really great play by Azur, and here's breakdown after breakdown, the steal by Ndai, and the dunk. Easy dunk, easy 2, 5-point lead for Puerto Rico, and Paco's seen enough. Again, you sense, not being in that huddle, the instructions are being given, they're just not being followed.
Well, one of the assistant coaches had to re-emphasize that to Barrera coming out of that timeout. Sharing the ball.
Arroyo inside to Bachmann. He falls down. Falls loose. What a difference. What a contrast. Niang goes down, and now Arroyo's clutching his left ankle. Right ankle, I'm sorry. Barea with his second foul. He's hurting. His elbow seems to be hurting. But it's the high upper ankle area that he's clutching right now.
I was gonna ask when was one of his teammates gonna check, and Borgman, as you'd expect him to do, came and saw if Arroyo was what sort of shape he was in.
Oh, they rolled over his ankle.
Yeah, he's.
But again, Niang went for the ball.
Yeah.
Arroyo could have. Look at Arroyo here. Look at Arroyo. Reached out with his arm.
If he'd have actually gone hard, he'd have hit the floor hard, but he wouldn't have rolled his ankle.
As he limps back to the bench.
Let's in the game.
Let's see what effect this has on the team. They're up 5.
2 veterans out of the game now. Santiago resting on the bench, and Arroyo, who is very, very good, very hot offensively, individually, and sharing the ball, sitting out. See how they react to this.
Niang inside. Oh, Ndai slapped by Sanchez.
You said Paco almost asked for rotation. Either someone didn't hear him or they didn't rotate, because that wasn't even quick. We're going to get a chance to see if we've got Arroyo on the bench at the moment. He doesn't look very comfortable. What's this? The rotation just didn't happen. Huertas was there, he just didn't rotate. He didn't rotate to get to the line of the basketball to enable the pass to be contested. Signs are really good for Senegal here. They have momentum coming out of the quarter break. They've just airballed from the free throw line.
Yes, again, not known for that. As Dr. Luis Molinari looks over his right ankle. It rolled out, not rolled over. With Juan Shi, 65%. With Delaware, 53%. He didn't even attempt one with Sacramento over 14 games.
Handine died, just about caught the front of the ring on the second free throw. They've got to keep the momentum going.
Barea, in and out. Huertas misses. Barea with a rebound. Nice pop. Can't make the basket. Ball's loose in the hands of Endur. One player who's played extremely well now is Niang at the point guard position, backing up Dalmeida. Endur misses the putback. Where is the help? Where's the box out?
Well, Huertas is guilty again. They're going to make changes from and they've got to put Santiago back. Must has put him back, and he's put back Linda as well. Those guys played hard in the first quarter. Guys on the bench are looking frustrated.
Huertas
tries to force it.
Yep, Galindo corrals it, and he misses finally. Tough shot. Yang with numbers. Corner shot, corner three. Chess.
Well, Senegal believing they could be on getting that World Cup win at the moment.
It's a tie game at 29. Mohamed Fai with the shot. Bachman inside, double team, runs out of room.
The aerial route on the pick and roll is not your option. By the time the ball's in the air, you're going to get a lot of rotation, a lot of help.
Bad pass by Endur. He thought for two. He thought he was controlling Yang, but Yang was cutting the other way.
That's just sloppy when you see if we see a replay of that. He didn't even look. He didn't get himself set, make a pass, get ready to move. Timeout called by Senegal.
It's a tie game though. They're so happy, and it's really a reward for very hard play and sloppy play by Puerto Rico, which had a 15-point lead. An amazing run. As a matter of fact, it was 29-14, and Senegal has just tied it on a 15-0 run as Arroyo walks back to the locker room gingerly.
Well, you hope he's going back to get it taped, or at least get him in a situation where he can play again. He doesn't look like the guy who's running to the locker room to get it taped to come back. But let's hope for Puerto Rico he is, because since he's left, they've lost their way. And looking around the arena while this timeout's on, it almost has a problem to solve. Senegalese fans are up dancing, Puerto Rican fans are looking at this, and I don't think they like what they see.
Carlos Calcaño, the man holding the yellow pad, was a great guard. Played for a number of teams, including Fajardo, one of the great coaches on the island. The man in the background standing with a red shirt, older man, that's Carlos Morales, the lead assistant. And next to them is that youngster, Luis Aril, who's the head scout. He slept all of 2 hours. Apparently the servers at their hotel are not downloading the prior opponent's night's game quickly enough, and he has to wait till 3 in the morning to start cutting tape.
3 in the morning.
To start,
yeah.
Santiago back, and Barea now.
Barea won't thank me for saying this. He's got to play like Carlos Arroyo here.
And he
makes the shot. That's what Arroyo was doing. As long as he starts sharing it, he can take on that leadership role.
What do you mean exactly by playing like Arroyo?
Well, it's not just about Barea. We know Barea can score. But one of the things Arroyo can do when he's in that place where he's playing well, he'll penetrate and kick. He'll find people. He'll use screens to create advantage, as Puerto Rico did in the first quarter.
Jump is short, and he stepped on the line.
And you got to feel for Barrera now. I'll give him the same as anybody. He looked, he pushed, he gave it up, and the guy's out of bounds. It's like schoolboy error time. That's going to make him less likely to give it up next time.
I know, but Barrera can't get too mad.
No, he can't.
You can talk to him afterwards. Here comes Endur. And he makes it against Sanchez, who provided wet paper defense. Wet noodle defense. Nothing hard. Santiago trying to screen out Yang. He's just an absolute pest. A switch. Huertas dribble drives. And a foul by Jump on the way to the basket.
Well, hats off to Barrera on that one. He read it. He read the switch, saw Santiago, had got them. He couldn't force the ball in there, but they had helped off, which gave Huertas the chance of a long closeout. And so they shared the ball. They read the floor and shared the ball. Puerto Rico responding to that great run by Senegal. re-establish a little bit of offensive continuity out there.
Sanchez, 27 years old, actually lucky not to be charged a foul in that play. Barea penetrates. He's got Santiago nearby, but he misses his shot. Dalmeida, Jean Dalmeida back on the court. Dewar can make that shot. Ricky Sanchez tries to keep up with him. Outside of Jang. Step away, jump shot, it's good. We saw that against the Greeks.
That's one of those shots he has to make in the NBA with that little bit of space to get away from the shot block. Nice touch.
You realize that's the Senegalese version of the Dirk Nowitzki flamenco shot.
Sir, he really did have great rhythm on it. Really looked comfortable.
Lifted knee to get separation.
Yep.
Vasallo, crossover. Too much dribbling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Dewar, watch out. Women and children first. Damn, look at that. I mean, there's absolutely not one member of the Puerto Rican national team running back. Not one.
And I'm not going to give him the benefit of the doubt, except to say, if you're going to have one guy like Vasallo, then you just dribbled and dribbled and dribbled and dribbled, you lose interest. I always say big guys, they're like those performing seals. If you don't feed them a fish now and again, they'll stop performing for you. Danny Santiago stopped, he was open throughout the play. Earlier in the game, they gave it to him, he passed it out wherever he caught it. This time, 1-on-3 was that dribble, and then they turned it over. No excuse for not getting back. But when are they going to learn? If they share the ball, they're getting good shots, and with the talent they have, they're going to make a lot of shots.
Almost looks exasperated.
Yeah. Almost has had a great career as a coach. He's looking at stuff he doesn't recognize at the moment. And Sanchez just sums it up for me. Are you going to offer the guy the shot, or are you going to contain the penetration? At the moment, he hasn't done either, and he just lets him go by him, go into the ring. And then look, 3 guys, as you said, on that shot, great shot. 3 guys still haven't got over the halfway line. 1 guy's around the halfway line. Puerto Rico have just got to ask themselves the question, are we going to share it and win the game, or are we going to play like we've just played for the last 2-3 minutes?
And are we going to play some defense?
Absolutely.
Pressure. Huerta's playing with a painful left plantar fasciitis. Correa chucks it. It's good. 3-pointer, tied the game at 35.
Well, he gave it up and got it back. I know it's only 2 passes, but he had all day to get himself set. And he's that good, he'll make those.
Dewar with 12 points and 2 rebounds so far. Picks up his dribble though. 7 to shoot. No screen. Here comes Jang. Oh, mistaken. Now Phi chucks it because that's all he could do. I wouldn't say this is a 24-second violation where Puerto Rico's defense dominated. I would just say that they were a little bit slow in getting into it, the Senegalese, and then they ran out of time.
Well, I don't think Sanchez in particular in that last play needs to step up his defense to all-world level. He just stayed between his player and the basket on that possession, which meant they wasted 3 or 4 dribbles and time and then stood still. No one's asking anybody here to be like Michael Cooper or whoever defensively. Let's just play, try and play defense. Keep our man in front of us and see what we get then as a team.
Huertas to Vasallo. Nice move but better defense by Jang. Inside to Santiago. No foul. I can see that one again. Dalmeida with the outside shooter. It's no good for Phi.
Hey, Danny Santiago went baseline to baseline to get that defensive rebound. The rest of the team just have to look at the efforts he's putting in.
Barea lost it. Tries to foul jump. He can't do it. And here's Jang. Again, where is Puerto Rico on defense?
They're absent without leave at the moment.
Down 2. Correa. 7 to shoot. Dewar making it difficult off his leg. Here comes Almeida. 3 on 2. Where's everybody else again? Jang, easy foul.
And again, in Jose Barrera's case, he penetrated and gave Huertas a wide open look in the corner. Huertas turned it down, put it on the floor, and kept putting it on the floor. And they get a break, and there's still not all the red shirts back. They make 3 passes on the break after this one.
What do you think is going through the minds of the Senegalese players in this game?
What?
Is this supposed to be that easy? They were down 15, they go on a 15-0 run, tie the game. Now they get on top, and it just seems easy now.
Well, I would hope that all they do is play the game. If they start thinking about the World Cup win, then they might get a little bit tentative, and they've not been tentative all game.
Here comes Perea, leaving Almeida behind. Huertas with a high 3 short. Santiago
Stepped out of
stepped on
bounds.
the line. Great hustle by Almeida. Forced him out of bounds. Galindo and Buckman back in as Ibrahima Thomas comes in now for Senegal. Lord takes a seat after a great first half.
Well, Huertas passed up the wide open look, then decided to take one with someone. They're just not, what's the word? They're just not on the same page as each other. They were at the beginning of the game. Whether that was by design or just by coincidence, they've now got most of the starting lineup back in the game with Barrera at the point. So let's just see how they can finish this half.
Check that, Mohamed Fai is the one with 12 points. Ndour has 8. Double team, last one to touch was Buckman.
Now Buckman again more active. Santiago just pushes the guy off the post more. Again, this lineup just looks like it's together a little more.
Almeida tries to penetrate. Long shot by Thomas, short. And Barrera takes a rebound. That is his 4th rebound. Danny surprising everybody. In and out to Vasallo. Short.
Still a good option. Still wide open look. 3 people involved. They create a wide open look. They'll make enough shots if they keep creating open looks.
Almeida with a 3. No, he stepped on the line. It's a 2. A long 2 for him.
A wide open 2.
Ibrahima Thomas is 27 years old. He plays for Azad in the Super League of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Barrera inside. Buckman fakes. Nice move by Ronaldo Buckman.
Yeah, used the step and his body beautifully to enable them to, and the ring to protect the ball. Kept the check totally out of being an option.
Wow. Thomas and Barrera in a wrestling match. Meanwhile, Almeida is all alone and he misses a 3. Thomas with the offensive rebound. And a nice, simple put-in as Buckman just got out of bounds and walked out of the play. Meanwhile, Carlos Arroyo is still in the dressing room.
I think he'll stay there till halftime. They'll assess, they'll tape, they'll do whatever they need to do. At the end of the day, it'll be up to him.
Barrera loses the ball. Again, another run out and a foul by Santiago to avoid the fast break. Barrera is having trouble running the point. Beyond himself.
And he's trying, unfortunately for Rico, he's trying to just handle it by beating them on the dribble. He's not moving the ball to create a little space to get a closeout or anything like that. It's all about, can he beat his man to create? At least he is trying to share the ball. He has kicked the ball off. And some of the decision making away from the ball hasn't been great.
When you play a team this athletic and with such wingspan, maybe the dribble needs to be a little bit more careful.
Well, you've got to. I think you have to create the advantage by moving the ball first and then attacking the space behind the defense.
By misses, an open shot. Again, this team is not known for three-point shooting, but right now they're shooting 25%, 2 of 8.
Which is around, last night they were 28 on the game because they made a few down the second half against Greece, but they are literally under 30% as a team.
Long 3 by Barrera. It's good. Now in the last minute, Puerto Rico closes in, down by 1.
But Barrera caught that off a pass with a bit of space and knocked it down. Give it up and assume he's going to get it back.
Thomas with a 3. Rebounded by Vasallo.
They've finished the last 2 possessions with 2 threes. That's not what's got them back and got the lead.
Almeida was hooking Santiago, and he gets called for the foul.
Good foul. Good foul with fouls to give.
That is his first.
So if I'm Barrera now, I know that I can score. I know I can knock down open shots. So why not give it up, move off the ball effectively, get a screen, get yourself a little bit of space, because even then, if they do chase and do close you out, you're attacking someone on the move, not set. So there's an opportunity for him to work off of a pass. He just spends too long with it. Every time he's passed it, something good's happened.
Santiago with 2 fouls. He's given a rest. Ricky Sanchez comes in. There's another foul by Almeida. 2 shots now.
No, they're only on, they haven't reached 5 yet.
Oh, no, okay. Referee had signaled too.
Waste of a foul. Waste of a foul, though. Barrera's going towards the halfway line.
9 seconds to shoot for Puerto Rico. 6-second differential. Wow. Trips by Thomas. And we have another point going to Puerto Rico.
They still
holding his thigh or hip.
Well, he had one more to give as a foul.
He's holding his right hip. He got kneed. Let's see. Oh yeah. The right knee of Thomas. Oh yeah. Upper thigh.
They're always nasty. Senegal, by coincidence or design here, have now created this situation where Puerto Rico have 9 seconds to get the last shot. I would still prefer Barrera to catch it off a pass.
Misses the shot. Dieng with a rebound. 1 second. Barrera steals, but it's too late. That basket will not count. Puerto Rico down by 1 against Senegal, 41-40 at the half. And we still don't know if Carlos Arroyo will be back for the second. Somebody said that Puerto Rico looked like a team that was being put together by a string, being held together by a string.
Wow. Those stats, considering how well they started, for them to be shooting 29% from the 2-point range is not a great number. They're still over 50% from the 3-point line, which is really how they've managed to stay tight in the game. Only 2 blocks for Senegal. I thought it was more than that. But 12 turnovers for Puerto Rico, hurting them a lot, which would normally led to points.
It does. 12-6 points off turnovers in favor of Senegal.
Yeah, and there's the scores. Arroyo, 11 points with Barrera, 11 points with Puerto 7. Well, the right guys are getting shots. But I would repeat what I said. Arroyo was sharing the ball quite well. Santiago being your leading rebounder. If you're Sanchez, if you're Baldwin, that's a bit unfair on him. You're looking at saying, well, if Danny Santiago rebounds, I should be rebounding. Because this is how they started the game, sharing it, creating space, and knocking down open shots. Great find by Santiago from the opposite side of the floor. Gave Glinda all day to make it.
Threading the needle goes Arroyo with the runner.
And Santiago's screen gave him the chance, and Arroyo exploits the opportunity.
Arroyo gets caught up in the wash.
Yep.
And now Senegal creates the open space. And Faye makes the basket, the top scorer for the Senegalese.
It's about the basketball touching the inside. I mean, we got the highlight again of Danny Santiago's dunk.
Worth watching again, though.
Oh, yeah. Hasn't happened very often recently, so that'll be one for the archive.
Yes.
But the ball sees the keyway for Senegal so much more than it did yesterday. So whether they are attacking the basket or penetrating to kick, it's a much better balance to the way they're running their offense. And they've done this better than they did yesterday as well. They've run the floor very well at times.
6-5 fast break points. Galindo with a 3.
Yeah, and the pass on the previous one from Arroyo to Galindo. There was a pass, a screen, a bit of rotation and team involved in those points.
Points in the paint. Senegal's beating Puerto Rico 26-8.
Yeah, and it was a stat from yesterday. Even though they had a bad game yesterday against Greece, they still scored 20-plus points inside. And Puerto Rico didn't against Argentina.
We've seen that yesterday. Buckman going for the steal. And here's just an unpardonable mistake by Huertas.
Yeah, and that's Huertas 30 seconds after coming in. You know, you've got to be ready. You've got to step off the bench. You've got to actually put yourself in positions just to do the fundamental things, box out. But still, for me, the key is how many shots will Barrera take off the pass? How many shots will he create after he's received the pass, as opposed to him coming down the floor with no one else touching the ball? The percentage figures on him doing that compared to coming down are scary in terms of the great percentages against his very poor percentage when no one else touches the ball.
Yang with a flamingo shot. Yang ends up this game with in the first half with 8 points and 5 rebounds, and there's a youngster, Latour, 8 points. Barrera as a shooting guard now being
off a pass, he's just going to knock it down. And because Senegal then haven't got the chance to set their defense up with him. They're not in the passing lane. They're not close enough when he's on the dribble. Get it off the pass. They have other options on the bench to run the point, even though Aurora's not there. If they just put the other guards in the game just to be the ball carrier, just to bring it down.
Here's another one off the pass. Vasallo with 3 assists. All he has to do is find Barrera alone.
He is such a points producer if he takes good shots, and all they have to do is find him. And the other thing that'll do is force the Senegalese to maybe adjust and guard him and open up the middle perhaps.
Mohamed Faye with 12 points. He plays in the Greek League, and he's been benefiting for pretty good, steady point guard play here by Niang and by Dalmedal.
Well, he's taken 3 shots from the 3-point line and 3 from the 2, and all he's doing, apart from this shot where he created for himself, taking shots that are created for him and knocking them down. He's been very, very efficient.
He is a 29-year-old, plays for Agor Panionios in Greece.
And the Panionios team is a good level. It's just below the Olympiacos Panathinaikos level, but it's one of those regular competitors in Europe Cup and competitions like that. So he's going to be exposed to a lot of basketball.
In the A1 league. So a nice start for Puerto Rico, coinciding with the presence on the court for Dani Santiago and for Carlos Arroyo, a first half that started well and then ended up poorly with an injury.
And he got frustrated, didn't he, at that point, because he kept looking at the bench, asking, why aren't we playing defense? Because we're down the other end, and he was part of that 15-point lead that they built.
But I have to say, he is not known as a paragon of defense in Puerto Rico.
No, he is, well.
Teammates continually have to bail him out.
Absolutely.
So he is no one to accuse somebody else of weak defense. Here's where he turns
that's where he turns his ankle. And we said in commentary that perhaps if there's no reason to have no knee pads on if you're not going to hit the floor. If he had hit the floor, he wouldn't have turned his ankle. And it depends in some ways. If he walks up those stairs ready to play, Puerto Rico are in good shape.
We'll find out. They already have 2 players that are playing injured. Who knows if anybody else is? We just don't know. But for Senegal, a chance at a win.
A real chance of a win. If they carry on being aggressive and getting on the glass, could be a story of day 2 here in Spain.
Of course, their league is made up of 14 teams. The league that economically doesn't really have much to offer the federation. They have the team in Douane, Dakar, Luga, Mermoz, Rail, SLBC, JA Dakar, Goé, BOPP, ASFA, USO, which is one of the top teams, GB, which plays 2 players here in this tournament. That would be Diop and Doy, Mamadou Doy, and finally Sibak Dakar. Most of the teams are based in Dakar, the capital of the Republic of Senegal. A republic that had trouble just getting to this tournament. Beyond Africa Basket, they've had some issues with FIBA, some debts, some players that were older in an under-19 tournament in 2013 for which they were fined. And the government, the central government of the Republic of Senegal had to step in to help out their situation. We'll be back in about 10 minutes with the start of the 3rd quarter. Live Basketball TV will bring you any number of not only FIBA events, but also EuroLeague events, and not only senior men's and women's events, but also some of the lower categories. So go visit Live Basketball TV or go visit the FIBA TV section of that website. By the way, speaking of great shots, this is one of the greatest shots you'll get in this tournament. You'll see it often. It almost looks like the kind of board that our coaches use to draw plays. It's just an absolutely wonderful job by the production crew getting us all of these images. We've seen some amazing action so far, and now we see Puerto Rico on the court, but we do not see their point guard.
Well, I'll be interested to see if, when, how he comes out the locker room. But just really quickly, we're aware that some of you watching this on Live Basketball TV may have had some issues with that service. It's back on today. You haven't missed anything because you watch all the games on demand. So, you know, check those out as well. All the games, you're watching one of the games here from Group B. You can watch every single game from this World Cup. What a phenomenal opportunity that is.
Some of them, including with the voice you just heard, Mark Clark, former UK national team coach, as we see seated, Paco Olmos, Carlos Calcaño, and now Carlos Morales, the Puerto Rico Brain Trust.
Well, Coach Morales, after one of those timeouts, spent a little bit of extra time with Jose Barrera. I think trying to get him to understand that this team need him. This team need him to be on the same page. This team need him to share it and get it back. And you know, Barrera didn't exactly take everything that was said to him in a way where you thought he was buying into it, but if you just take a look at the film, if someone just shows him some stats, give it to a teammate, get it back, he is absolutely killing this Senegalese team once he gets the ball off the pass.
The other option for Paco Olmos is the possibility of inserting Carlos Rivera.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of mileage in just saying to Rivera, go and be the guard, get it done.
And for Jake Sarr, keep it up.
Wow.
Keep it up. And should they press any more than they have in this first half? Trying to really step on Puerto Rico.
I really think after free throws or after, maybe after go for it, because they've done a good job. They're probably in credit when they press the ball. Their double team worked well, unless Danny Santiago was on the floor because he found a pass. So I think that Senegal believe they can win this game. A team like Senegal is dangerous when they can believe they can win a game.
You see what I'm saying about images and the production crew? So Arroyo in the dressing room. Barea will start, as well as Danny Santiago. And in the case of Danny Santiago, he ended up playing a total of 16 minutes.
Just a quick, if Arroyo is injured and not playing, surely he must come back to be with the team.
Ah, interesting question. In other words, how long can you tape or ice an ankle?
You're going to make a decision sooner or later. Now, he's had about 20 minutes or so to make a decision. You've got to be here. He's a leader on this team. He's got to be here trying to help this team, even if it's from the bench.
Vasallo, they're playing a little Princeton offense as Bachman drives to the basket, and it's good, no foul.
Everybody touched it.
And now Puerto Rico now takes the lead at the start of the third quarter.
Spread the defense by the movement of the basketball, and then Bachman was just good going down the middle.
Dalmeida to Jeng. Santiago and Jeng just banging. And Jeng scores against contact. Tough shot by Gorgijan.
Well, he went over Danny Santiago. The over bit's not, but he moved him. That's the hard bit. He actually got a great angle.
Senegal back on top. We reverse to the other side. You're talking about having Barea catch the ball. If Dalmeida lets him. Look at Dalmeida's defense. Over to Danny. Loses the handle. Dur. And finally they keep up the ball. Inside again. Cross court. Launches. Ndoye. Barea leaving everybody behind, and he's fouled. He tries to get a three-point play or a four-point play if he could.
It is unsportsmanlike. There was no one back.
That's what Paco wants.
He's right, too. We get a look at this on the replay. There's no one behind him. There's no one. Nah, he was level at the best. That's a tough move. Over a big, big man.
Again, he's surprising everybody. Every shot he makes. Here comes Santiago. Offensive foul by Danny Santiago. Yes, sir.
Let's have a look, please. Let's have a look.
The face of disbelief. Apparently, he may have hooked him.
Well, that was the call. I mean, if we can get a look at it, it's always an easy call to see, and with the benefit of the camera.
Ndour drives. Tough shot. No good. Santiago with the rebound. And he's got to flash some elbows because the Senegalese are right there in his face. Barea loses the handle. Dieng. Ndour doesn't wait for anybody. The veteran. Malay Ndour for Paris-Levallois as the bench celebrates. And now they have a 4-point lead over Puerto Rico. Vasallo, quick three. It's good. AD for Angel David Vasallo. He's played also in the Uruguayan and the Argentine League, although he has in the past couple of years. Remember, Puerto Rico's season starts very late in March. They have a chance to play elsewhere and then join the Puerto Rican League in mid-season. Malay, Ndour misses. Faye. Hey, double dribble, right? Yes, sir. Turnover. Puerto Rico gets the ball with 7.5 to go.
It looked really messy. I think the referee swallowed their whistle a few times on that.
Foul by Deng on Bachman. No, it's actually on Dalmeida. Jean Dalmeida, 31 years old, plays for Lille in the NM1 in France. Vasallo, same shot, same spot, different result. Ndour, quick fast break. Cross court, DeFay. In and out and in. A three-pointer, 49-45, Senegal on top. Ndour right now making his Faye making his third three in 4 attempts. Barea inside to Bachman. Same play, same result, same player on the ground, no foul, basket for Bachman.
Offensive.
Yes, sir. Shoved off Santiago. Was Dieng in both cases when Bachman drove inside that semicircle?
Deng, again, the issue is that they all followed the screen, and Bolton did a great job. Barrera did a nice job finding him down the middle.
There may have been movement, but he was outside that circle.
Yeah, and it was just late coming across, I think. Yeah, well, it's a tough one.
He was moving laterally.
Yeah.
Look at Barea being hounded now by Niang. A quick substitution as Dalmeida now has 3 fouls, and that's a little trouble for Senegal. Now the foul. I'm sorry, the out of bounds. The ball belongs to Puerto Rico. No contact, just a flop. Galindo, no good. Bodies flying all over the place. Senegal's had numbers though. And a foul by Bachman because he recognized that they were in a disadvantage as Dieng is still on the ground. I don't think there was any contact. But he seems to be hurt.
I don't think Danny Santiago, whether there was contact or not, threw the elbow.
No, that was not. There was no contact.
Minimal at best, but there's no foul here because he's not swinging. He's just bringing the ball through.
Let's see here.
Point of comparison, though.
A graze, a graze.
At the best, at the most. Game getting a little feisty, though.
Yeah, and Dieng has to work on his flopping. Ndour. He's going to get a technical if he keeps it up. Foul by Santiago. As Dieng is getting a little rougher now. Santiago always claims verticality, always.
I'm not quite sure what he did. We'll have to have a look at it because
that's a banging right there. And look at the left arm.
But all the left arm wasn't straight, but the contact initially when he already blew the whistle, like there, it's full on the chest. You know, Santiago's entitled to take that hit on the chest.
And now Santiago will go to the bench. He's got 4 fouls. Terrible news for Puerto Rico.
It is terrible news. Then again, in thinking about how terrible the news is, how many more minutes does he have in him in this game? He's probably got enough to use that 1 foul.
They've got Jorge Brian Diaz, who's about 2 meters 11, but he's a youngster, 24-year-old. I'm not sure he's ready to meet these Lions.
I don't think he's ready for this game, although Sanchez wasn't ready in the first half. He's got to be ready now.
They also have Ramon Clemente, who, besides the fact that he's a meter 98, he does play as a center in the Puerto Rican League, undersized center. Oh, they've got Vasallo all alone. He didn't see him. Galindo did not see him.
Because he was too busy looking to bounce the basketball.
Barea penetrates, dishes, it's good.
Barrera frustrates Puerto Rico and me even more because he can do things that help this team every time he wants to.
Walks the screen behind, Niang pushes off, it's an offensive foul. Now Barea is known for that. The moment he feels contact in his chest, he throws himself backwards. He actually got a technical yesterday for doing that.
But again, in this one, the extended arm. Watch the extended arm, makes it an easy call for the official. Just threw him away.
The wave.
Yeah. So Barrera plays great defense for him. Penetrates the possession before for an assist.
Bounce pass to Ricky Sanchez, back to Barea. He penetrates, he dishes all the way short at the end though. Yang with the ball.
Great decision by him, got all the way to the ring, and you're thinking, he's completed the whole repertoire now.
He's got to close the deal. Fay dribbling against Galindo, and a late foul called on Alex Galindo.
Galindo did a really decent job. He took him away from the direct drive lane to the hoop, but then he just wanted a piece of it. Like he's already got the angle wrong. He's got him across and he's got him away. Then he tries to block it. He's never going to block that shot. It's giving an easy opportunity from the free throw line for Fay. And Fay's one of the better free throw shooters, around 80% on his career. But it's a 2-point game. Nothing easy. You can't give anybody the easy bailout here.
Played for 2 years at Georgia Tech in the NCAAs in the States and transferred to SMU. He also played 2 seasons there. He also played in the D-League and then started playing in France, Greece, now with Retimno, Agio Retimno, Agor in Greece, and Panionis. Senegal with a 3-point lead, losing the ball, Endur against Barea. Behind the back, what was that? There's Barea playing defense, huh?
Well, the thing is, this is the annoying thing if you're Barea. You look down the floor, no one else moved. No one tried to get back at home because there was a 2-on-1. Barea was trying to break it up. He didn't need to go behind the back. Missed the opportunity for Senegal. No one came back.
We've seen too many of those.
Oh, it's...
Here comes Barea up front to Galindo. Yang just slowed everybody down. Inside to Bachman, quickly up. And it's good.
That's a great first step. Turned the corner really well.
And throws Yang with a fake. All within 3 seconds or less in the paint. Puerto Rico down 1. Yang calls the play. By a better scorer from the other side. He's on the right side now. Here comes Yang against Ricky Sanchez. Drop step, no good. Rebounded by Vasallo. Puerto Rico tries to run. Corner shot, Galindo. He's deadly. Short. Rebounded by Dieng. Dieng is just collecting them like they're going out of style. Barea touches the ball. Free ball. Yang drives. Euro step. It's in. We are watching a young man become one of the best in the business in his position. Slowly but surely. Yang kicking the ball. It belongs back to Puerto Rico.
Barea again has every right to be disappointed. He hustled, he threw it back. Because this team is standing around on any loose ball situation, Senegal get it first. And there were people closer than Deng there. He came from further away. No one else is chasing it down.
Another rebound for Deng. He now has 9 rebounds. Dur in and out. Barea gets the ball. in the open court. And he's fouled. One of them hit them. I'm not sure which. It was such a blur. And now, again, a little hurt. He already got hit in the hip, and he felt in his right side. I think he's okay. Again, reaches out for the upper right thigh, right hip. He did fall on that side.
Well, he's taken the well-trodden path to the locker room for Puerto Rico.
As now A.D. Vasallo limps his way to the locker room through the tunnel. There he is.
Carlos Arroyo has not emerged.
Nor sat with his teammates.
No.
We just hope that injury is not something more serious than we think.
Well, if he has to have gone to hospital or something like that, then obviously that's where he is. But
Correa makes the first free throw, and now we see for the first time about to enter the game Carlos Rivera. Rivera has a tremendous amount of chemistry with Barrera. As we see the substitution, Barrera will take a seat.
You'd like to see Barrera come back and Rivera stay on the floor, and then find a way of letting the two guys play together.
But there's great chemistry when they were both in that same high school I told you about.
Yep.
As they're working on Barrera right now at the end of the Puerto Rican bench, they were staying at Carlos Rivera's sister who lived in Miami, and she became sort of the godmother of Barrera. We have an offensive
travel call on
Yang.
Yang.
Dr. Molinari, part of the staff. Rivera's 31 years old, making his debut with the national team. Point guard for the Puerto Rican champion, Ponce Lions. And now we have 6 Lions on the court. 5 dressed in white. Bad pass. Bad pass. Turnover for Puerto Rico. That's number 17.
Killing at the moment. Every time you think they've had chances to lead the game, the last 4 or 5 opportunities in the last 5 minutes to lead the game, and have turned it over on numerous occasions.
Dewar at the top of the key where he's been deadly. Inside to Fay. Corner shot by Digno, he drives against Huertas. Foul by Galindo. Fouls before the shot.
So again, for Galindo, if he closes out to force him to the baseline side, he's already got Ricky Sanchez ready to help. And then he makes matters worse by just doing that. That's no attempt to play defense. That's just going to send him to the free throw line.
For the first time in the game, Alex Franklin, who started yesterday, will be coming into the game. He is not a great shooter. He is a good defender, and Galindo will take a seat. Now, A.D. Vasallo is in the locker room as well.
In terms of their offensive firepower at the moment from the perimeter, they don't really have an enormous amount of deep threat on the floor. If, from a Puerto Rican point of view, they've gone a bit smaller and quicker against the most athletic team in the competition.
Yang makes the first. Here's Bachman. Should be dribbling that ball. Looks for Sanchez. Over to Bachman.
Pass.
And it's a defensive foul and a score. Malay Doi couldn't get there quick enough, and Bachman's a little slow in getting up himself. Remember, he brought up the ball slowly, then passed and ran.
It's a full court give and go almost. Gave it and went, but again, it's just poor Senegalese defense. And Senegal at the moment have almost got into that place where they're trading. They're at where there's no pressure up the floor anymore. They haven't really turned any of the stops into opportunities to attack the basket.
They're satisfied.
They've almost got into, we were right, really competitive. We think we're going to win. We're just going to go through this.
Yang.
They're not a half-court basketball team, and it's plain to see.
Dalmeida. He looks at the clock, 5 seconds to shoot. Rivera's hounding him, fake, slaps the ball away, Rivera. Puerto Rico does not have numbers, now they do. Huertas had a notion of a 3 to Ricky, this is his shot. Short. That is Ricky Sanchez's trademark shot. Almeida almost loses it to Bachmann.
Every single time for the last 3-4 minutes, Senegal have just got into half-court basketball. And they haven't moved Puerto Rico at all.
And he makes the shot over Huertas.
Making 1 out of every 4 or 5 offenses isn't going to be enough, though. They still lead this by 3.
Bachmann, top of the key. Keeps the dribble. Drives around Almeida. Goes to the basket. Misses. Looks for the rebound. And here comes Almeida. Corner shot. Fade. It's good! There's the 3 that was missing. We're waiting for. And Senegal goes up now by 6.
In transition basketball, they're so much better.
Less than a minute to go. Beautiful pass by Malé Ndoye, one of the leaders of this team. And now a timeout by Puerto Rico with a minute to go. Join us in Monterrey, Mexico for the 2015 FIBA Americas Championship. Remember, if the U.S. does not win the gold, they will have to go play in that tournament in Monterrey. And we also can't wait to see this improved Mexican team and what promises to be a much improved Canadian team, as well as the rest of the usual suspects.
And that's the route into the 2016 Olympic Games. So you know that's going to be an intense tournament.
Almeida off the screen. And this is a great play. Ricky Sanchez had to respect the dribble penetration and then had to rotate. It was too late.
First time in 3 or 4 minutes that they've run transition basketball. They got it down, took a shot. And they're so much better when they run. And they're up the floor pressing.
Just what you said. On the inbound. Here's Bachmann again, falling in love with the dribble. Last minute of play, 16 seconds to shoot. Franklin, a three-pointer. Not known for that, but he was wide open. Now Puerto Rico puts a little bit of pressure. Dure to the corner. Deflected by Ricky Sanchez.
Wow, where's that come from? Full court pressure?
Making
Steal.
use of his 2'13", his 7-foot frame to get to that ball.
Good athlete as well. He's one of those athletic 7-footers you just think, well, you could do a lot more with that frame.
Jup. To Ndoye. To Dang. He's going to attack Ricky. Step back shot. Misses. The ball back in the hands of Jup. Easy shot. Easy make. 5-point difference. 5 seconds to shoot. Ndoye on the floor. The ball's loose. Again, Ricky fights for the ball, and that's the end of the third quarter. Emblematic of what we're seeing today.
Absolutely.
Not pretty, but hard fought.
Well, hey, Ricky Sanchez hit the floor. That's a great sign for Puerto Rico. He's got to put his body on the line for this team right now.
Puerto Rico, a quarter away from losing for the first time in 5 games to Senegal.
Well, those game leaders. Faye's had a night, 20 points. Bachmann still leads, and it's in. Barrera's going to come back. If Puerto Rico are going to win this game, Barrera's going to have a big fourth quarter. Big fourth quarter when it matters, having a fourth quarter. But Bachmann, great example to his teammates.
And Dieng attacking Danny Santiago. He ended up getting him in foul trouble.
Well, the key though, Senegal are going to trust themselves up and down the floor. Are they going to trust themselves in the full court? Because they have looked very or less effective in the half court, yet they've settled for that for the last part of that second quarter. If Barrera can get back into this game and share the basketball, Puerto Rico still have a huge opportunity to win this game.
Nice play here. And again, they're getting a little slow to protect the rim. Senegal is allowing Bachman to score his points. He's had his fill in this quarter. He's got 17 to lead Puerto Rico. But then look at the three-pointers by Senegal. Not often, not usual, but they damage Puerto Rico.
They shoot the three well in transition because they're actually stepping onto it and they've got their feet set. Their stats when it comes to in transition are better than the half court, which is not always the case when from the three-point line, but they look much, much better when they are running the floor. Udoy's had a nice time. They've had a really good time and contribution across the roster. It's not just been about Deng this evening at all.
Barea and Santiago will start the fourth quarter on the bench.
That's a big call.
Senegal on the verge of a big win if they can hold it together for one more quarter. Dalmeida. Bumped by Rivera. He's going under the screen as he should. Here comes a three-pointer.
Oh,
Gang rebounding, and the ball belongs to Puerto Rico. What an effort, though. What an effort by Hamadi Ndiaye and his bad back. Imagine if he didn't have a bad back.
Well, I think Bogman's got a point. He was asking, he's coming over my back. He was flying for a long time. Let's take a look. He's coming from a long way. Well, and he did come over the back, but he didn't box him out, Bogman. Didn't make the contact.
Here's Bachman with the dribble again.
Oh.
No Barea, no Arroyo. I'm going to be the point guard. He has a problem finishing.
Pereira has to get into this game and get into it right now.
Ooh, Rivera's going to get called for that.
And it's another reason to almost leave Rivera in there. He's just doing such a tough job.
Finally gets a steal. He attacks Dalmeida.
Oh, what a block.
Misses. But Bachman's back there. Again, great effort by Hamadi Ndiaye, but it wasn't enough. That second wave didn't come in on time. Pressure now on jump and a foul on Huertas. Second foul.
I don't understand the lack of Pereira at all. Leave Rivera in there because he's really he's really making the hard work. Whoever has the ball as Yang comes back, whoever has the ball at point, Pereira's just working hard, making life very difficult. Bring Pereira in at that off guard spot. Bring him in. You got to use him for 9 minutes, get the win.
Now it's Niang on the floor, guarded by Rivera. A little quicker for Rivera. Ndiaye steps back, no good. Yang, what a fight. Yang and Alexander Franklin scrambling for the ball. Nice little slap for each other. No harm done. Look at this. This is the World Cup. Look at the space he gets to dribble. Go ahead and dribble. I'm thinking of Andre Blatch in the Philippines, which we're going to see later on tonight.
Maybe, but
Huertas had a shot. Goes over the screen again. Drives, he's blocked. Exactly what Ndiaye wanted.
Well,
Here comes Niang.
That was on the menu, wasn't it?
Yes, you knew it was coming.
No one else moved. And even the people on the floor, Huertas wasn't passing, so no one moved. So everybody on defense knows what's happening, and that's going to be a block. Still no Barrera.
And no Vasallo either.
And no Danny Santiago, and I still think Santiago's worth his minutes here at the end of the game. By the time he puts him back, the game may be over.
The three-point Senegal lead. He's got now, Niang has 10 seconds to get a shot that hits the rim. He drives, he loses the ball, and it belongs to Puerto Rico, off his leg.
Puerto Rico are forcing this time Senegal to get into the half court. They're not giving them opportunities to run. Senegal are just getting more and more passive, and with 8 minutes to go, Barrera's going to come back.
He's talking the puck almost at the bottom of your screen. Rivera, short.
That's not why he's on the floor, is it? He's out.
No. And a foul by Huertas. He was beaten down the court by Niang, who's super fast.
I think Huertas is the man who should come here. Rivera should stay. I think they will get more points production out of Barrera if he doesn't handle the ball all the time.
Dieng against Ricky. Way open, three-pointer, it is good by Malay Ndoye.
Well, Ndoye has been a revelation in that corner.
One of the veterans in this team. Sanchez from a kilometer away, no good.
And he didn't follow it, didn't try and rebound it. Life's a lot easier now for Niang with Barrera guarding him, as opposed to Rivera.
Jump, three-pointer, short. And rebounded by Franklin. Puerto Rico losing by 6 with 7 seconds to go. Senegal getting close to a win here. Barrera, tough shot, in and out. Rebounded by Dieng. Dieng now with 12 rebounds and 14 points, a double-double.
That can't be what Barrera wants as a shot.
Bachman goes for the steal. He's done that in the last couple of games. Inside to Malay Ndoye. It is good, and the foul. Possible three-point play for the veteran.
Well, Malay's going to go to 19 points on that with 1 to come. And inside, outside, he's putting on a little clinic offensively at the moment.
The captain, 33 years old, plays for the Pro A, Paris-Levallois, in the top French league. Misses that foul shot, and there's a call because he stepped out of bounds again. Careless turnover for Puerto Rico, and they got to play on.
Well, they're 8 down with 36-35 gives them an enormous amount of time to get back into this game.
Senegal, though, slowly but surely is upping its three-point shooting, as they did yesterday in the second half.
Absolutely, it's almost like they take a while to find their range. There's no depression there. That little period Puerto Rico, they got a couple of 24 seconds. They limited Senegal to some bad-looking perimeter shots. But since they've taken Rivera out, there just isn't the defense.
Oh, Job attacks. In time! Paco almost calls timeout. They are down 10 with 6:09 to play. And in the second half, they are 5 of 9 from behind the arc. 55% from three-point line. 3
of those have been in transition. But that whole play just really did sum up the issue. Rivera in the game really put the pressure on at the point. They couldn't get into anything. They take 2 steps off with Rivera out the game. They go down one side of the floor. They skip the ball. Bad closeout. Beautiful play. Really sound fundamental play off the dribble. But that's so much easier to do on a long closeout. Rivera changed the face of the game and kept it close and kept it to 1, 2, or 3 points. He's out the game. They go down 10. And it's crying out for someone else down on the ball and Barrera to be down as to score. And it wasn't broken. Taking Rivera out, there was nothing broken with Rivera in the game. He took one really poor shot. That's an appalling closeout by Huertas, appalling closeout. And he took one bad shot, Rivera, in the game, the bad 3 that hit nothing. His defense was worth leaving him in the game, especially if you bring back the scoring potential of Barrera alongside him.
And now they finally do it, both together on the court, and they finally have such great chemistry together. They were teammates before.
You've got to use, and Rivera wasn't broken. It wasn't a need to take him out. He was the reason the game was still close.
And guess who's bringing the ball up?
Yep.
They're doing exactly what you're recommending. You got to send them the bill later.
Little screen here to get Barrera open. He'll score. He will score off screens. Now he's got some space to play.
Here you go. No, he thought he had a 3. Now he drives outside to Rivera. Cutting Sanchez. It is not in. He gets a foul, though.
Sanchez has got to go hard on that. Went soft on the touch. Got to throw it down even. But hey, Barrera penetrated. They fear it. He kicks it. Rivera made a great decision. He could have taken a bad shot. Sanchez moved really well. Good offense by Puerto Rico. If Sanchez makes the 2, they can build some momentum because Rivera's going to be on defense.
Ricky Sanchez went straight from high school to be drafted in the NBA, but He did not ever go to the NBA. His rights have been sent from team to team in the NBA. There's even a website called The Rights to Ricky Sanchez.
Again, now we're Senegal playing their half-court offense around the halfway line because the defense was extended. I think the matchup should be the other way around. Barrera should be on the point.
Niang.
Because that happens.
Inside out. Here comes Doi. No good. Rivera lost it, and it's off his leg. Jupp with a great hustle play. Another possession for Senegal, and Senegal can just feel it. They can feel it. It's in their reach.
Well, that little period where they went from being 2 up to 10 up, if they can protect that, that could be the decisive part of the game.
Doi, guarded by Franklin. Niang is blowing by Barea. In this game, he goes behind the screen. Dewar with an open shot, short, rebounded by Rivera. Long pass ahead to Bachman, collects the ball, and he dunks it. Now they want pressure off the inbound, and Puerto Rico doesn't quite get the order until it's too late.
Well, I'm sure they said it, but like they don't do it quick enough. They have momentum now. This is a key. Keeping the momentum now. Timeout, Senegal, if they get stopped here and scored on.
Dieng loses the handle, fadeaway shot, in and out, rebounded, in the hands of Barea. He's got Franklin. Franklin to Bachman for the dunk, and the foul. The foul was called before the dunk, no basket.
They've called the foul on the pass.
Unsportsmanlike foul, so it'll be the shot and the possession.
I think the co-official said if you're going to call a foul, it's unsportsmanlike. They just told him. There's the timeout from Senegal. Yeah, that's unsportsmanlike. In any language, that's unsportsmanlike. He just ran through him. Diop adds a clear unsportsmanlike foul. If they make the throws and get possession, they could be within 1 on the back of the defense and a little bit of intensity and the fast break points.
Senegal by 6. Jake Starr calls a timeout.
And you don't want, and we talked about Senegal here, they could try and close it out by being in control of it and just managing the time. I don't think they're capable. It's not their strength for doing that.
They need to keep doing what they got here.
Absolutely, and it was clear when they get it in transition and they don't let the ball get stuck, they're very good. When they get it stuck, the defense will give this Puerto Rican team who we know are looking for steals the chance to get things off their defense. And Barrera and Rivera automatically, long pass, two opportunities in the break. They've just given it up. And this is great hands by Portman, really beautiful hands, great finish. And then they get points in transition. Well, they will get points in from transition the next time. There's got to come a point where Coach almost says, good job.
I'd like to see it.
Yeah, if
he does clap every now and then.
If they'd have said, like, great job, let's get up the floor. Then, you know, I'm fine.
It's so demanding. I don't know if it's the Spanish style of play that eventually behind closed door he'll pat you on the back and tell everybody how good you are in public, but in game situations, in public, you hardly ever see Paco almost.
And I think this team almost needs him. It needs him to be happy. Let's have fun, guys. Let's have fun together.
That's part of the game in the Caribbean as well. So let's see if they can pull it off. They're down 6, 4.5 to go, and Alex Franklin, another Puerto Rican brought in from the States, played for Mayagüez, ended up winning that championship in 2012. Eddie Casiano was the coach. Eddie Casiano was a former national team player. He part of the team that beat the U.S. in the Olympics in Athens. Tremendous shooter. He really liked to shoot. He wasn't a great passer, but also always known for shooting, not passing. He's become a great defensive coach.
Really. And
actually won Coach of the Year and the championship basically in his rookie year.
Poacher turned gamekeeper.
In other words, do what I say, don't do what I did. Puerto Rico down by 5. Senegal just trying to hang on here.
Possession. Big possession for Puerto Rico.
Barea all the way. Blocked by Deng.
Cue up. The cue was formed.
Oh, they're letting him move the ball, and now he stepped on the line. The old disease. We've seen here Puerto Rico commit that twice. This is the first time it happens for Senegal, and it's Diop.
Ball ends up in the wrong hands because Diop is not going to stand there and shoot it like Ndoye.
And their teammates, Barea and Deng. Bounce pass, Ricky, that's a three, that's a shot. Not this time, rebounded by Diop. Slapped out by Rivera, and it belongs to Senegal. Less than 4 minutes to go.
Well, Rivera is really having a positive impact with his role defensively.
He has actually taken the point guards who had been really doing well for Senegal and made them step back a bit. They're not as effective as they were. As Barrea tries to get in the way, and he makes it so.
See, it's a better matchup for Barrea. He's taking somebody who's not a great ball handler, so he can get away with some of that stuff. So he went after him a little bit, and there's a turnover. Rivera can deal with the guard. Barrea just run him as an off guard, both ends of the floor.
Here comes Carlos, picks up the ball.
Senegal getting really passive now with the defense. They were all over
Barrea takes a
this
shot.
team.
And guess who got the assist?
All I can say with this is that Senegal are the victims of their own like almost like being passive at this point in time. You've got to keep playing and doing what you were doing. And at the moment, the Puerto Ricans starting to get right back in this.
And a foul by Rivera, trying to get over the screen by Deng.
They're in the penalty, unfortunately, for Puerto Rico, so they will be shooting free throws.
And Senegal from the free throw line now, 5 of 15, 33% alone. That's
You can foul them.
yes. Well, like Senegal's has shown, they leave some of the better work they've done so far in the tournament for the second half. As he misses, they kind of work out the kinks. But
And
this
he's
time Dalmeida misses.
Dalmeida is one of their better free throw shooters, over 75%. But the first one looked a little nervy. Second one looked a bit smoother.
Yes, sir. 79% this past season for Lourdes in the NM1 in France. Bachmann fouled.
Well, they have one more after this. They have one more to give. They'd like to hang on to that if they can with 3:23.
By Phi. You have to admire, though, the effort by Bachmann with a sore Achilles that had him limping a couple days before the tournament. Barea, double team. Anybody but him. Rivera's not even touched the ball. Barea.
Barrea's got to go away from the ball, come back off something. Otherwise, it's this. He might make it, but it's not a great option.
And the long rebound, the ball is slapped by Sanchez. Dur picks it up. And he brings it up the court. Watch out, all the way. Bounce to Dieng, and a foul by Ricky Sanchez.
Well, earlier in the play, it's a great screen by Diop that just freed up the whole play. I mean, he wiped out, frankly. But Barrea just has to trust his teammates now.
But his teammates also have to feed the ball to Rivera to
At the right time.
Up.
And someone's got to say, no, go away and come back off of a screen. Because the wide open shot, the possession before, he's going to score. And Senegal know when he has the ball, he's likely to try and force the shot. Is he going to make a good enough percentage to drag them back into this game with 3 to go? I think not, unless he comes off screens. Or at least gets rid of the ball and gets it back.
Dieng this past season with Minnesota shot 63% from the line. Now it's a 6-point lead with a couple of free throws.
Good for Senegal to get up the floor. Good to make the game a little bit disjointed. Now, this is where someone's got to give their body up for Barrea. Someone's got to screen him.
Rivera
coming back, 2 screens.
He has it, but there's a foul by Dalmeida as Bachmann goes out flying.
And how much better did that look? Staggered screen. Rivera's good enough as a guard to wait and handle it, give it up when Barrea's coming off the screen. He was ready to hit him with a pass and end up with a foul off the ball.
Bachmann with space, tempted to shoot. Here's Barrea. Rivera with a notion to drive. 5 seconds to shoot. Franklin loses it. He's got to take a shot. He does. It's a prayer. Hits the rim and handled by Dieng. Dieng now with his 13th rebound to accompany 16 points. 2:15 to go.
That's not going to get it done if Barrera tries to steal it there. He's got to get down and play some defense now. There's plenty of time in the game.
Dieng drives right-handed.
Oh,
Hook shot, it's
oh,
in. I'm telling you, with every shot, he grows in confidence.
I'd say that's something like some of these NBA teams who don't like their players playing international basketball. Look at the effect it's having on this guy. Minutes, responsibility, everything.
Rivera, floater, beautiful, over the defense. He finally gets his bucket. It seems like he's calibrated now.
Yep.
How high they go. And they go high. Ooh, high dribble there, but no.
Need to stop Puerto Rico right now. They need to make sure that Dieng's not going to get a chance to put it on the floor.
2 long possessions, that's the advantage. Door gets fouled, hard foul by Buckman. And he'll go to the line.
Well, Danny Santiago is just about to come back in the game. About, in my opinion, quite a few minutes too late.
And will he warm up quick enough?
And they're bringing Galindo back now. Galindo back, and Franklin hadn't played the whole of the first 3 quarters.
Both had 4 fouls.
But like, yeah, they might finish the game, but the game might be gone. Franklin didn't give him the defensive lift I thought he might. Still time, 1:30 to go, there's still time. Seen a great comeback by France elsewhere in this World Cup this year with great plays down the end of the game when the game looked like it was almost over and Serbia had a win. Well, there's still plenty of time in this for Puerto Rico to get the result.
Dora will take free throws. Apparently he's so injured he'll be out of the game. He'll be Jup. He's a 73% free throw shooter at Ohio University. Jup now.
The Jup's only like a 60%, well, under 70% shooter. He made the first though, so.
Yep.
Looks like he's on 2 for 2.
He played in Peru, among other leagues.
Must be an interesting place to play.
Well traveled. He makes both. It's an 8-point lead.
While Barrera's doing this, the clock ticks.
Yep. He launches a 3. No good. Hero ball at this point. Or let's say inefficient basketball.
And someone's got to, I don't know if someone said, give it up and come off screens. That's all they have to say. He's not actually saying to him, we don't want you to shoot it. They're saying to him, we want you to shoot it in this way.
Dalmeida to Dieng. An elbow shot, no good.
Oh.
A rebound off Bachman. The captain takes it. And now we're a minute away from Senegal getting a win. Barrera with the foul.
Well, wake up the rest of the world. Senegal are at the World Cup getting wins. This has been a phenomenal achievement. They started poorly again, but they were so sad. It was their defense and their transition game that put them in this position.
Mohamed Diop, one of 2 players from Senegal's Division 1. He's 33. As I said, he played in Peru in the Superior League with Regatas Lima. Also played in Spain with Huelva in the Lev Silver.
And that's a huge step. A Lev Silver team being a Division 3 team in Spain and Peru, now he's on the World Cup stage making free throws where Senegal are moments away from getting a win. That's dreamland.
And he gets back to Senegal to play with Mamadou Ndoye in Cheikh Sarr's team. And there they are in the national team.
All right, it's a 10-point game. There's 48 seconds to go. You've got to go up and steal and foul here. Points difference will be no factor when it comes to if they go 0-2 after a loss to Senegal.
Well, that's exactly what I heard Paco Olmo say. I need you to play for goal average. That was exactly what he said right now.
Carlos, sacas tú. Aquí, Palma. Aquí, Jose. Aquí, Daniel. No. Aquí, Jose. Aquí, Galindo.
I don't see Puerto Rico have lost to Argentina. They may here lose to Senegal. They will need 2 wins to be full, unless there's a 3-way tie with 1 win. So points difference could be a factor. But wow. They're losing a game. Coming into this tournament, people are talking about Puerto Rico as a team potentially to get 2, maybe 3 wins. At the moment, they're looking at 0-2, which means they have to beat everybody to get anywhere near that sort of number.
Both teams lost by 23 points, both, last night. Not combined, each lost by 23 to their opponents yesterday.
Well, they're going to look for the get-out-of-jail card if they're looking at points difference at this point from this position.
Foul by Faye.
That's not smart.
Stops the clock with 42 seconds to go.
They do not need to be fouled in Puerto Rico at this stage, giving the clock a chance. They have 2 timeouts, though, so they can advance it.
And for the first time in the game, Ramon Clemente comes in. Franklin back in, Barrea. And they right now have 6 players on the court, and Danny comes out. So,
well, if you're going to play defense from this point of view, there's no Santiago's got to come. But I'm amazed if Senegal don't take the time out to advance the basketball.
Barrea's reaction at this point.
They talk about pictures telling stories.
Yep. There's that old Spanish story, though. Boabdil, the last Arab ruler of Spain, on the way out, started crying. He was being sent to exile, and the story was his mother said, "Don't cry like a boy what you couldn't defend like a man."
That's very poignant when we that picture.
Tough words.
Yep.
Tough words.
Well, Senegal have taken that timeout, and you hope now that Coach Sarr is just in to get it in, be strong with it, make sure he's got all his best free throw shooters on the floor, and just close out this game and get the historic win.
Senegal had not qualified since Saitama, Japan. They finished last in Group D, but within Africa basket, they have been a 5-time gold medalist. The last one in 1997, 6 times with silver, 3 times with bronze. So they're used to finishing well in the regional tournament.
They're very, very good in Afro basket. And we've talked about Angola getting a win yesterday. The Afro basket qualifiers are becoming a factor in the world game. So it's about numbers now. It's not just about Angola because they were the gold medalists getting the win. This is about Senegal getting a win. It's about whichever teams come out of Africa. Egypt are in the group of death. It's going to be an absolute amazing performance if they can get a win against any of those teams in that Group A. But this, Senegal beating one of the basketball stalwarts, the teams that have always been at World Championships and been in Puerto Rico, is a great story for them.
Quick foul.
Well, their best free throw shooter goes to the line.
And now Baco saying, "I didn't want you to foul him."
Well, then they'll let him catch the basketball. And he had plenty of people around him, and he didn't have to work hard to catch it. Those guys look like it happens to them all the time they win at World Cups. They're just standing there, enjoying the moment.
The fans here, the Senegalese fans, at the end of that, behind the Senegalese basket, are standing up. They're just loving every second of it.
They're going to go wild. They're enjoying themselves. They're going to go wild in about 40 seconds. Puerto Rico, it's a possibility, need a miracle. It's still possible.
And Senegal would have to help.
Well, it's still possible if you want to put Barrera back in because he can score better than anybody else, but they're talking about points difference now already.
Rivera with a 3. It's in. It's now an 8-point difference. 32 seconds to go. Almeida, they try to strip. And now the foul by Bachmann.
Well, if the option was to steal or foul earlier, then you steal or foul earlier. Bachmann missed, but Rivera, who's probably the best defender so far, didn't really go after it.
In rhythm.
Yep.
All net. So Dalmeida and Senegal 27 2/10 of a second away from a win.
I assume Coach Sarr is very emotional on the inside. He's trying to look cool there. If I was him at the moment, inside, I'd be loving this moment.
He's a quiet man, though.
Yep.
He's just a quiet, reserved man.
He should have immense pride in the way he's managed the process for this team coming off that loss to Greece.
over to Clemente, and he scores. And the idea for Senegal at this point is just let the clock flow. Oh, no. Dieng shouldn't dribble this ball.
No way he should be having it in the backcourt. But he hangs on.
Doy to Almeida, to Ndour. 4 seconds. 1 second. And it's over. Senegal didn't come to Seville just to gain experience, but to show up. They came to win. And the Lions Rouge have just beaten Puerto Rico 82-75. Strum your chorus, strike the balafons. It's a win for Senegal.
Well, those statistics, 61% from the 2-point range. A team that couldn't buy a basket for a half last night. They got away with a 56% performance from the free throw line to get the win. Rebounding wise, they just about managed to control that with a 5 rebound advantage. Turnovers killed Puerto Rico. You know, it was just, again, at times, a performance that started with a lot of promise for Puerto Rico, with a 14, 15-point lead, just disintegrated under pressure from Senegal. Faye and Dieng with 20 and 18. That's the story, though. Arroyo left the game in the first half. 11 points, he's still their third top scorer. Borkman worked hard and for a moment got going in transition. But just take your hat off to Senegal. From way down in the game, after losing heavily yesterday, regrouped and came up with a phenomenal performance. If they play in transition, they're a handful for anybody.
They and the captain speaking to them, then with a double-double in this game. And again, a young man gaining tremendous confidence, playing against FIBA veterans. The outside shot showed up in the second half and was a factor for Senegal to keep their lead.
Absolutely. When they were wide open, they knocked them down. And so therefore you asked the question, because Puerto Rico knew they could guard them, because they did. At times they were there. Then they didn't guard them all the time. They lose the game.
Buckman had a nice third quarter, but really they ran out of offense in the fourth. And you wonder about the personnel on the floor at times in that fourth quarter.
I thought Rivera really did spark them with his defense.
And Santiago just didn't show up to the very end. He did have 4 fouls. Ricky Sanchez, a very difficult tournament for him so far. I've seen him play a lot better.
Yeah. Oh, no, and his profile tells you he's a better player than he's currently performing. And about the Santiago and the foul stuff, never is a greater example of this. Yeah, you might protect them. You don't want them to go and they might pull their foul. By the time they went back in, game's gone. You know, keep you in the game for longer, try and come up with a way of winning the game if they get fouled out in that situation.
Puerto Rico wins the first quarter. Eventually at one point had a 15-point lead at the end of that, a little bit over, at the start of the second quarter. And then Senegal went on a 15-0 run to tie the game. That was the first sign here of trouble for Puerto Rico and of tremendous resilience for Senegal.
And that replay we get in here, the second angle on the dunk, was off the defense with Rivera in the game, and then they got this M1 play, so they got the unsportsmanlike play again from their defense, and then straight after that, very soon after that, Barrera moved away from the ball and got an open look. And then they just went back to the lack of defense, and they went back to too much the person with the ball creating off the dribble.
And no Santiago in the paint to patrol.
Yeah, I don't think that happens if Daniel Santiago's in the game, or he'll foul out. All right, whatever. But you've got to give yourself the best opportunity, and Puerto Rico didn't. And we just hope that Carlos Arroyo hasn't got a major injury. He did walk off the floor, he did limp back, so you hope it's not as major as it could be.
Or A.D. Vasallo as well.
Both 2 guys in the locker room ended up not watching the end of the game. You've got to hope that the injuries are not that serious.
In some cases you have to hope perhaps that they did have serious injuries, because otherwise you would expect them back there in the bench.
Yeah.
But for Senegal, it's a win. It's a win they'll love and cherish. 82-75 to a bitter, downtrodden Puerto Rico, perhaps the biggest disappointment so far, not only in Group B, perhaps in the entire tournament. For Mark Clark, this is Salvador Martin. Greece and Philippines will be next, coming up soon. Join us, please, on Live Basketball TV on FIBA television.